Hey, everybody, welcome back to the podcast. You are listening to Her Journey Towards Change, and I am your host, Laura. And every week I do a Tuesday's talk and I bring on a guest. And today's guest is Sue Fulmore. I hope I said her last name right.
Yep, good.
Sue is a freelance writer and speaker seeking to use her words to awaken the mind and soul to the realities of the present. Like a prospector looking for gold, she uses her pen to uncover the beauty of the truth hidden just below the surface of our lives. And Sue is a mother of two adult daughters, and she lives in sunny Alberta, Canada, with her retired husband. So, welcome, Sue.
Thank you, Laura, so much.
Everything going okay for you today?
Oh, yeah, it's early morning for me, so everything's good. The day is sunny, and yeah.
Well, good for you because it's 100% chance of rain here today. So pretty much stuck inside. But I want to thank you for coming on to the podcast, and I appreciate you basically coming at the last minute. So I appreciate that. But I've been following your blog and your website, and I've been reading up on a lot of your articles that you have written. And there's one that keeps coming back to me, and it's your free resource. And the title of it is 4 Best Practices for Connecting with God During Times of Stress. And I know right now, I know we're about a year into COVID, and I know it's maybe not as stressful as what it once was when it first started, but it still is for many people. It still is. I was talking to someone yesterday, and the question was, what would you do if you could change one thing right now? What would it be? And she said she would love to see her grandmother, and she's not able to because of COVID. So I know a lot of people are still under a lot of stress. So I thought that it's a free resource that you offer. So all the listeners, you're offering this to all the listeners to be able to hook up onto your link and get this resource. So I totally appreciate that. But can we go over them real quick of what the 4 resources are?
Sure, be happy to.
The first one, let's see, you have here. The first one is the breath prayer.
Yes.
And I've kind of done this before. I haven't done it the exact same way that you have described it, but can you explain to us what the breath prayer is?
Sure. Maybe I'll just go into a little bit of background of why I created this. So it's actually this was just this year that I created this for this particular moment, but I am in the last probably 10 years, getting to midlife and all that, I realized that everything had kind of become stale, and I was sort of running on autopilot and not really engaging in all aspects of life. So then for spiritually, I started to explore different things I hadn't tried before. And so then this year, when I, feeling all that anxiety early on in March, I knew that sitting down and reading my Bible and journaling and stuff in the same way wasn't going to work. Like I couldn't even settle, And so the breath prayer is one of those things. Like I had been practicing it for a few years, but it was the one thing that enabled me to settle my mind and my body in order to receive some words, like from reading. So, and it's been around for thousands of years. It's been practiced. And it's so simple. And there's a whole lot of brain science behind it, where as you breathe deeply and you're turning off the fight and flight mode, and you're settling your brain. So it really does work. And, you know, it's just like, you just maybe close your eyes, take a deep breath in and exhale. And I find it helpful to focus on words. And some people use the one, Lord Jesus Christ, have mercy on me. That prayer from scripture, but you can pick anything. You can even just pick a word that resonates with you. So if you're feeling there's a lot of stuff coming at you, and you can just say, you are my peace, or something like that as you breathe in and out. And it's just a way to settle your mind and your body. Does that does that explain?
Can we try it real quick?
Yeah, for sure.
Some of us can try it. Okay.
Okay. So let's just try using be still and know as our thought words. So just settle yourself in a chair. Try and make sure your feet are on the ground, because that's a grounding thing. Close your eyes and take a deep breath in. And as you breathe in, say, be still. And as you breathe out, and know. Again, be still. And know. And if you were alone, you would do this for 3 or 4 minutes.
That's very helpful.
And even sometimes just in the middle of the day when you're running around doing stuff, I sometimes just stop and look out the window and use that as a cue, like, okay, just take a deep breath and recognize that God is present.
Well, I know we have a puppy. He's a year old. And he is very hyper. He is actually in puppy camp starting today to learn to be disciplined a little better. But I have not had very much patience with him lately. And when he gets this way, I have to do this. I don't say be still and know, but I'm just going like, be patient. And it actually works, because if I find myself getting high pitch and high strung over what he's doing, it makes him even more hyper.
Right.
So when I calm myself down, it helps. So I know if it helps me with him, it's going to help me definitely, you know, when I have other stress things going on. So that was a great practice. Thank you for sharing that. I enjoyed that. The second one is an exam. And you say that it's an ancient practice of examining and to be aware of the events in our day. How does this work, the exam?
Well, there's so many different variations that you can use for it, and in the resource it gives you sort of a list of things. Basically, it's looking back at your day and trying to find God in it. Like, how is God present with you? And also, it's sort of an internal examination, like, how was I today? Did I get upset over little things? Did I, yell at my husband for something? Did I get impatient with the dog again? Or, whatever. And it just allows you to see the whole day, and then see the good things of the day, the places of beauty, or when someone gave you encouragement. And because I don't know if everybody's like this, but I forget, like, by the time the day's over, I've forgotten all the things that have happened throughout the day. And it's only when I stop and think or write about it that I remember, oh yeah, my friend called and just encouraged me. That was so great, just what I needed to hear in that moment, right? So it's just a way of sort of taking stock of the day. There is Cindy Bunch has written a book called Be Kind to Yourself. And in it, she reduces the steps of examine to what is bringing you joy and what is frustrating you today. So it's a similar thing, but just simpler. And this week I'm going to be posting another way of doing examine that I kind of got the idea from a podcast. Just as you're getting undressed for bed, you can go through these steps. It doesn't take long. So, you know, as you take your shirt off, you think, okay, how God were you present with me? And, you know, let that go around in your head. And then, you know, as you take your pants off or whatever you say, what have I done that I'm not happy about today? Like, what can I let go of that wasn't good? And, you know, as you put on your fuzzy jammies, you ask God to tell you the blessings of the day. And then as we crawl into bed, just say, you know, thank you for the day. Thank you for being with me, and watch over me tonight and go with me tomorrow. That's sort of a really simple way to practice it. But for those of us that don't have a lot of time, I think it can be really helpful.
It's more of like mindfulness.
Yeah.
Being aware,
yes.
mindfulness.
Exactly.
Yes, you're right. In a busy world, you know, I can just imagine young mothers with little ones running around the house, or they're trying to homeschool. And, you know, I'm past those years, but I do know what they have to be going through right now. So this would probably be a good practice for them if they'd be able to just stop, you know, throughout the day and just ask themselves those great questions. So that's a good one. I appreciate that. The third one is journaling, which I resonate with all of these, but this one definitely, because I'm a writer. You say that it helps get in touch with our emotions. Can you share a little bit more on this?
Yeah, and I don't know if that's a personality thing, because I'm a 3 on the Enneagram, so I tend not to be in touch with my emotions so much.
I'm a 9, which is a people pleaser.
Okay, so you might have a similar thing. Because there's no judgment on the page, and because you're sort of writing from, I think you access your unconscious mind as you write, especially with a pen and paper, that things come up that that aren't at the forefront of your mind normally. And so it's a way to process things with God on the page, rather than having it come out sideways later in the day.
That's a good way of putting it. I like that, coming out sideways.
Because we've all had those experiences, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Like, and you're not even aware that you're feeling these things, but something happens, and it's a little thing, but then it sets you off. And so I think journaling is helpful, because it helps you to be aware of those things before they become an issue.
I know I have to make myself sit down and do it. You know, there are times where, you know, I have this thought in my head and I can be in the car. So I get my cell phone out and I start punching things in my notes on my cell phone. You know, you can journal with pen and paper, or, you know, just jotting words down and then later going back to it and then writing out what those words actually mean. But journaling is a good way. I truly appreciate being able to journal and do that. So you also have a bonus tip. Or no, wait. Let's go back to number 4. We skipped number 4.
Which is my favorite.
Well, yes, this is one of my favorites too. Noticing beauty.
Yeah, that was something that especially this year has become a lifeline, honestly, because so in March, you know, we're all locked down, and I would walk outside. Okay, you know, I'm in Canada, and so we're a little bit behind in the seasons, but every day I'd be searching for little signs of spring, and you know, the first little green thing that came on the trees. It was so exciting, and it just became a habit. So like, it was daily searching for beauty outdoors. But then then it extended to other things like enjoying a beautiful book or a piece of music. And my husband is a music nut, and I tend not to play music because he's always playing it. But he gave me some really beautiful, just instrumental music, and putting it on, it's like, it takes you to another place almost. It can. And then just the whole idea that these are gifts that God gives us all the time, and we tend not to see them. And it's like, I like to think of it as like, you know, when someone invites you over for dinner, they sometimes, if they're this type of person, they set the table beautifully, they put flowers and their best china and crystal, and it just tells you that you're welcome. And I want to do something to show you that you're special and you're welcome. And that's sort of like, that's what God does to us. Like when he gives us all these gifts of beauty every day, it's like, this is for you to enjoy. And yeah. And so really thinking about that and connecting beauty with God more so than I ever have before.
Not only is it the seasons, I love to enjoy watching the different seasons come and go. Fall is my favorite, always has been, and I think it always will be. But I also, this might seem odd, but I'm like a people watcher, and I see beauty in just watching people. Like I can be out, or I can be in the car, and we could be traveling. And even when somebody passes me in a car, I'll look over and I'll wave sometimes. It really brings a smile to, it's like it takes them back and they do a second look, you know, like, okay, I'll wave back. Or if there's children in the back seat, I can make a funny face at them. Or if I'm, you know, which I don't go to the mall these days like I used to, but I just sit and love to watch people walking past me at the mall and just in their everyday lives of how, you know, husband and wife interact with each other, or mothers and fathers with their young children walking through the mall. So watching people does a lot for me too, because it tells me that living life is a good thing. Being able
that's beautiful.
to,
I love that.
So, but I'm a nature person myself. I take my camera out and I'm always taking pictures. I love sunsets. I can't seem to get up and do that sunrise very often. I would love to. So, but I love taking pictures of nature. So yes, I truly believe I agree with the beauty in the world. Now let's get to the bonus tip that I totally got too quickly. Can you share what the bonus tip is?
Oh, yeah, there's a great app on your phone. You can get Lectio 365, and it is it goes through the practice of Lectio Divina, which is just sacred reading. And they pick a short piece of scripture, they read it a few times, they do some reflections, and they do a prayer. And it's usually like less than 10 minutes. And it's got beautiful music behind it and lovely UK voices and with these great accents. And it's just a way, like if you're out for a walk, or even if you're in the bathroom or cooking dinner, whatever, you can pop it in and get just a really quick but meaningful devotional. And I think for busy people, that's helpful. And never, like, I just love that there's all these things out there, because we feel so much pressure to meet with God in a certain way, and feel like almost like worthless if we can't have our half an hour with our Bible, and but it doesn't have to look like that. And there's seasons where it can't look like that, right? Like, like you said, with either busy children or a busy puppy, like you don't have all that time to sit down, right? So we have to find a way to make it work. And also the other thing that I started doing a little bit, and sort of it fell off, but I think I need to get back into it, is lighting a candle. And just as a reminder that God is present.
Always
you
have
go.
one on my desk.
Plus you've got the smell too. Like
Yes,
it's all the senses that help us.
Maple Belgian waffle.
Oh my goodness.
It's awesome.
Yeah. So you're engaging the senses as you anyway, I think those are really helpful things.
And that was
to take the pressure off.
Lectio 360?
365.
365. So you'll be able to give me that link too, and I can put it in the show notes so everybody can pull up that up. That sounds great. Yeah. I have really, really appreciated you coming on. This has been a great talk. Thank you so much. And
thanks for having me so much.
I know that I'll post all of your links in the show notes, but where is that one particular place that you would like everybody to go to if they would want to find you? Where would they go?
It would just probably be on Instagram.
You're there
because I'm a beauty lover. I like the pictures on Instagram and the words. So it's just Sue Fulmore. Just my name.
Fulmore. Okay. All right.
Thanks so much, Laura. This has been a treat to get to know you a little bit.
So you said you're working on another project coming up. What did I hear you say that? There's something that you're going to be working on?
Well, I have a draft of a manuscript for a book.
Really?
So, yeah. So that's in progress. You know how those things go. But it could be years.
I know.
Yeah, it's just that's probably the major thing. Just writing articles and stuff, and really wanting to help women in our stage of life move forward and try new things, just like you're doing. I love the group that you have, and I'm going to be active in there.
I hope so. It's helping me. I hope it's helping everybody else. So
well,
we're winding down on the self-care. So I'm going to have to think about with spring coming up. Maybe we could do something for spring forward. I don't know, but I really love being in a community of women, and we're able to support one another. It makes a big difference, especially this, like you said, this stage in my life that I'm in right now. My children are grown and out of the house. I have 2 grandsons, and I was basically a teacher working with young toddlers and pre-K age, Head Start, and I've done that for so many years that I decided I didn't want to do that anymore. And it's like, okay, what do you do with your life when you don't want to do what you used to do all the time? So I think God is giving me a time of rest to be able to figure out what it is that I want to pursue. And this is one of them. And I'm so glad He is doing this for me, because if not, I would never have met you. So I appreciate that. Thank you so much.
Okay, thanks, Laura.
I will talk to you later.
Okay.
Okay. Bye-bye.